Hello dear fellas, I'll be doing a series on addictions in general, so any kind of addiction, it's useful to watch these videos. This is my first one in English, so I hope I do a good job for you to understand correctly, as it's not my native language. But here goes. So today I'd like to speak about breaking the routines of addiction, as we programmed ourselves to react a certain way towards difficulties and problems. We ran away from them instead of facing them, which brings about the opportunity of growth, right, to a human's life. So most of us, not all, but we started pretty young, most of us, because when you're a child, that's the time of your life where you evolve, where you learn to deal with certain emotions. Well, and to use my own life as an example, when I was a kid, I grew up in a home where my father is an alcoholic, right? So there was lots of aggression and the usual stuff which happens in a home where alcohol rules. So it was like World War III. I didn't feel safe and secured, which a child obviously needs. And luckily, my parents, they divorced, and that brought about a bit of rest. But still, it wasn't perfect, right? But which family is? Anyways, when I was about 9 years old, my father he took me to the movies. Took me one day a week. He picked me up at school and he brought me back home in the evening. So and he allowed me to drink Snow White, which was beer mixed with 7 Up, and that was so uplifting for to me. It was so tasty, and it gave that moment of liberation, right? So all the insecurities, the feeling about the feelings of fear, anxiety, restlessness, all disappeared. But yeah, well, that's an artificial way of numbing yourself, right? So the minute the matter of choice wears off, your security wears off, and you'll be needing more. And well, that goes like a speed train, right? So over the years, we create a way which I call a road of escape, right? So to explain a bit how the brain works, because the brain it's kind of like a computer, right? We have in the Kabbalah we have like the perception, which is Chokhmah, is the right side of the brain. We perceive things, and then the left side is Bina, which is the analytical part. So we analyze, and then we have the center, which is the Das, which is focus and which puts out, right? But by running away from emotional involvement and learning ourselves to deal with stuff, we pass by a certain process. So we, instead of processing, we go directly from perception towards an emotion, and our reaction comes from pure emotion, which is always bad. So we need to learn again how to treat difficulties, and how to first think about what comes in and try to analyze, and then make up our mind. And the more we do that, the more our emotion adapts to rationality, right? So it's the mind over the heart. That's why we made up the standing type, right? We don't walk on four like animals, which have the mind and the heart on the same level, right? So we're stand up because that symbolizes also the possibility of using your brain first and then steering out your emotion and acting towards that. So that's a bit how the brain works. I told you a bit in a nutshell about my youth. So I created this. I found this little way out, right, of all this artificial way by using alcohol and drugs. Later on, a lot of drugs, and the more you use that road, the bigger it becomes. So you start off as a path, and then later on it's a street, and from a street it becomes a boulevard, and before you know it, it's a highway, and you go 120 miles an hour without thinking, and every little thing that crosses you, every single difficulty is like to you another opportunity to use whatever matter of choice, right? So either that is cocaine, heroin, alcohol, it's all the same. And materialism works the same way also. So how do we make a change? How do we break this routine? Because it demands us to build a new road, right? So the old road, it will never disappear. But you're now watching this video, so probably you're sick and tired of your lifestyle. You already changed something. I can't tell. That's different for anyone. So the underlying problems will appear as soon as we find sobriety, right? So now it's time for us to deal with these underlying problems. So we have to train ourselves, and we have to create a new road. So by not entering that old road again, this is why we're never able to learn to control the matter of substance which we use to run away from difficulties. That's not an option, because you'll be on that road 120 miles an hour, the same as before, and plus what you're doing now. So it's not like you're starting over. You're adding to where you were. So yeah, we create a new road, we deal with the problems, and that takes a lot of practice. But when we go to the 12-step program, we arrive at step 12 in the end, when we deal with certain stuff, right? And it takes a lot of time, but it's worth it, of course. The thing I miss in the AA, CA, NA is the purpose in life, because and it comes, it's a bit because of due to society, right? Society teaches you all kinds of lies, and it's based on consuming, and it doesn't teach you how to be truly joyful. And joy is not a feeling, right? You don't need to feel happy all the time. That's another addiction. That's addiction to endorphins and all kinds of biological drugs which our body makes up, right? So true happiness comes from also from reason, and from having purpose in our lives. Well, that being said, I'd like to speak about another thing. Here goes a moment. So we should ask ourselves 3 questions. Who am I? Why am I here? And where am I going? The way I see it, I'm a cell to a whole, like a grain of sand, right, on the beach. We are all the same in essence, and we build our houses, our towns, our cities as living together, right? Yet we all differ, and we see ourselves separate from one another, which is a great problem. Life's a gift, and we receive it like all of nature works, right? It's the water which gives to the soil, and the soil gives to a seed gives to a plant gives to its leaves or fruit, and the leaves give us oxygen, we give it carbon dioxide in return. Everything's about giving. society learns you how to think about yourself, and that's a pretty depressing, lonely existence, right? So that's what's happening. We see that all around us. People get depressions and get burnouts and all kinds of nonsense, just because their focus is inwards and they don't function the way we are to be functioning. So psychology, there are psychologists which are waking up from the Freudian lies, and they apply treatments like helping others, because if you are depressed or you have anxieties or whatever problems there are, by laying the focus off of you and helping someone who has bigger problems than you maybe, right? Who are not self-sufficient, and you can be of service to these people, and that gives you a purpose in life, and that brings about true happiness. So the focus of you. It's not important to look back, right? Your life's is not. You're not living in a museum, so your life is not in the past. It's now, and it's where you're going. So who am I? I'm part of a whole. What's my purpose in life? To be able to help my fellow beings and my children, my wife, spouse, my family, and to be of service. That brings about purpose to one's life. And finding one's purpose is, that's the second best thing in life, which is your day of birth. Maybe it's even the best thing in life. So it's your birth and knowing what your purpose in life is. Mastering this and coming to this point strengthens us. It gives us a spiritual meaning, and that's key to solve every single problem, and to learn to embrace our problems as opportunities to growth, because every growth, every opportunity taken goes along with pain. That's just the way it works, and nothing comes easily, and good things don't come easily. So I wish you a lot of luck with this, and you go, and see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.